Hello, everyone, and welcome to the USA Archery 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final. We're coming at you from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is Greg White, and sitting next to me is world champion Braden Gelentine. We're running a little behind right now, Braden, so there's still bronze medal matches going on.
Yeah, the excitement's been going on so far. We've got some incredible bronze matches going on, and like I said, the semifinals were incredible. We've got some great archers coming up.
Huge scores happening here, so we're going to let these bronze medal matches play out, and we're going to come back and start commentating once those gold medal matches begin. So hang tight, stay with us here as we're running a little bit behind, but soon we'll be back with exciting action from the 2019 USA National Indoor Championships Final from right here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
That's good.
Jack Williams, straight set, 6-0, over Zach Garrett. Jack will win the bronze medal. The Conformation Men division 118, just a 1-1 split there. Save for Conformation Women, 117, 116. And we have a bronze medal winner over John Nemmer, Bon Gerard, 6-1. In Recurve Women, our bronze medalist over Mackenzie Brown, Brianna Laux. And as we await the final scores, if you have advanced to the gold medal match, you will be allowed to practice over here in the arena where you just competed on medals 23 through 30. If you are in the gold medal match, you will be able to practice on medals 23 through 30. And how about a quick round of applause for all of our competitors today. We have a huge crowd who shows some support and love. soon as we have the scores, the final scores in for the gold medal match, we will head over immediately. We have a tie in the compound men's division, so we will have a one-arrow shoot-off. Tate Morgan against Jacob Suzars, both shooting a 148 in their final match. In the compound women's division, we do have a bronze medal winner, Athena Kyopolis over Cassidy Cox. Athena will win the bronze. We have a one-arrow shoot-off compound men. Tate Morgan, Jacob Suzars. As a reminder, gentlemen, you are shooting the center target. And congratulations to Tate Morgan for winning the bronze over Jacob Suzars. Coming up next will be our gold medal match.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the USA Archery 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, as we have set the stage for gold medal match competition. I'm Craig White. Sitting next to me, world champion Braden Gelantine. And Braden, it's been a short day of shooting because we've had 8 shooters in each class, and they shoot off, they do elimination rounds, and now we're getting ready for the gold medal matches. But it's been a fun and exciting day so far here in Cincinnati.
Right, like you said, we've already cut down to the final 8, and we've got 2 waves of matches, and here we are. The semifinals have been amazing, nothing short of spectacular. We've got a couple shoot-offs, and we're in for a treat here in the finals.
So we're going to get things going. The first match we're going to have of the day is going to be Barebow. So let's go ahead and go to our guy, Chuck Cooley.
2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final. This is the gold medal match. Our first match of the afternoon is Barebow. Our number 1 qualifier, Grayson Partlow and Richard Stonebreaker. Grayson Partlow has elected to shoot first from the left-hand bail.
So it's time for Barebow gold medal competition at the U.S. National Indoor Championships. Grayson Partlow out of Front Royal, Virginia, shooting for 4 years. Here we go, Braden. Barebow competition. Describe the equipment they're using.
So they've got a basic recurve, no sights, no stabilizers. It's just themselves, their rest, finger tap, and yeah, it looks like they're both using a larger diameter 23 series arrow.
And the targets they're shooting on?
40 centimeter 3 spots. They're shooting the standard Vegas Big Ten as they're scoring. Other than that, it's the exact same scoring and competition style as the modern recurve.
Greatest thing about Barebow is that you can get some wilder scores, I guess you could say, than say in compound. It's always you're looking for the middle, but in Barebow, you know, if you shoot a 6 or a 4, it's not the worst thing you've ever seen.
Right, when you're shooting compound, it's easy to expect perfection to be the winning score. In this, perfection would be great, but it's not necessary.
That's a 10.
Beautiful shot. So the scoring rings that we have available for these archers are?
So there's the 10 ring, the centermost ring that you see there. Then the rest of the yellow is 9. The red is divided between 8 and 7. And then the blue is a 6 ring. If at any point there are 2 arrows in the same target, the lower scoring arrow will count.
Okay. Over $70,000 in prize money available for the shooters in these 5 classes that we have today. Barebow is a combined class. This is the 2nd annual USA Archery U.S. National Indoor Championships. And this is the first year they've included Barebow. And it's $8,000 for your gold medal winner.
Impressive.
So, they're shooting at what distance, Braden?
This is 18 meters. It's just shy of 20 yards. And in the top corner, you'll see that Richard Stonebreaker has received 2 points for the end. Competition is divided into ends of 3 arrows, and the higher scoring archer will receive 2 points if they win.
The highest scoring archer shoots first, so you'll be shooting first this time.
If both archers tie for the end, it's 1 point
Bob,
each.
don't forget
And obviously
to flip
the
their
losing
charts,
archer
please.
receives 0 points. 1st to 6 is the champion.
In the bronze medal match for Barebow, there was a shoot-off between Fawn Gerard and the famed John Demmer III, with Fawn Gerard getting the bronze. And in Barebow competition, it was a combined class of men and women. The rest of the competitions that we'll see here today will be separate, where you're going to have recurve women, recurve men, compound women, compound men. All right, so the highest scoring archer, so we'll shoot first.
Yep, stand by.
6-9 to kick things off. I know you've shot recurve, Braden, over the course of your career a little bit. Have you ever dabbled in barebow at all?
Just playing around with the guys on maybe a Friday night after hours. I've never done it competitively. This is pretty impressive.
So Stonebreaker.
Doors open for Grayson here. Anything on the gold to take out 2 points.
6.
Oh, not what he was looking for.
Nope.
There.
Opportunity lost. And with this set scoring system that Braden talked about, so we can see that 23-25 is going to give Stonebreaker 2 points. That's going to take him to 4. We're going to get our official scoring. So that's our estimation based off of arrow calls. So we have the score on the screen, upper left-hand corner for you. If you're watching on your third screen device like a phone, we'll call it out for you, because especially if you're busy, if you're walking or if you're on the treadmill or something, you know, bounces around.
Accidents.
Yeah, we don't want you tripping. So official score comes in, and it looks like Partlow is going to be 0-4. First to 6 will take the gold medal.
You tell me what you want.
And it can happen that quickly in recurve competition. So Stonebreaker with that lead. Living in Houston, Texas, originally from Germany. There's a look at Grayson. Talking about Stonebreaker right now.
So what you see him doing there is he's counting the strands down below his knock point to get his elevation right, so that he can use the point of his arrow as a reference. It's commonly referred to as string walking.
Stonebreaker, 40 years of competition. This shooter here, Stonebreaker, 1974 World Field Champion, runner-up in recurve in 1993. So World Field Champion in 1974.
That's impressive.
And he's here on the
He's
stage
still out here today.
And that's what archery can do for you. He was also the 2002 World Champion in Masters Recurve in Melbourne, Australia. Shooting all over the world. Grayson Partlow highlights. Second, third, and fifth place finishes at Lancaster in the Barebow division. Multi-time USA Archery State and National Champion.
Looks like he's got some fight left in him, bringing it back to 4-2.
Only 4 years shooting for Partlow.
It's an impressive resume for just 4 years.
For indoor highlights, because, you know, we always divide those things up, Braden, first and third place finishes at the USA Archery Indoor National Championship. One of 2 archers to ever score an 11.25 or higher in Barebow division. He's the current national champ. Now, if you're just joining us here at the 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships final from the Duke Energy Convention Center, watching Barebow competition. Now, Braden, what's unique about this tournament is that this is the finals that shooters get invited to. There were 13 different locations, I guess you could say, for U.S. Archery Indoors, all linked together via computer. So you had a chance to shoot them.
Yes, I did. I shot down in Gainesville, Florida.
So Grayson is going to be shooting
when
first?
in Gainesville and why in Gainesville?
When in Gainesville was early January, and why was because I had an event maybe 30 miles from my house, but I had another major national event the same weekend. So luckily with this event, it allows you to pick and choose which times you're able to compete and go ahead. So it was right before Nîmes. I figured it would be a perfect way to get things dialed in and ready to go.
4-2, Stonebreaker leads the way. First arrow from part low.
A little strong off the top.
Oof.
That shot looked really clean. I was not expecting that impact.
Think he'll recheck the strands possibly.
Yeah, might see a shift in his strand count. As the adrenaline surges, a little more powerful with his shot. It's not uncommon to see an arrow go high.
Over 13 events that we mentioned, different parts of the country, beginning in December. The top 8 were invited to come out and shoot this. Nearly getting close to 600 of those competitors shooting barebow across all classes. 4,600, close to 4,600 competitors competed in this 2019
And
National
wins.
Indoor.
Needed a 10 and got it.
That is how you do it. Did you see it?
Yeah,
Really?
What?
Richard Stonebreaker. Born in Groß-Gerau, Germany, now calls Houston, Texas his hometown. Came all the way to Ohio from Texas and will notch himself a gold medal, a national champion for 2019 in these indoor championships final. They're waiting for official judging just to confirm these results. And it's been confirmed.
Congratulations, gentlemen. We'll head off back this way, okay?
6-2 for the gold medal.
The arrow that won it all for Stonebreaker.
Yep.
In the record books, it'll be 6-2 for national champion. And let's go down to PJ, who's with our winner.
All right, Rick Stonebreaker, 2019 U.S. Indoor National Champion Barebow. How you feeling?
Sometimes it's better be lucky than good.
How did you feel going through that match? I mean, it looked like you both struggled a little bit, but you found it together at the end to pull that 10.
It always gets tough when you have something like that, and it's a little hard. It's a little difficult. But even if you don't have your absolute best shots, your second best shots, your foundation is solid. So even if it's not there, you can settle for just a little bit less, and it's still there.
All right, Rick, congratulations. Good night shooting.
Thank you.
Pads his resume. That first World Field Championship, 1974, and now in 2019, another one for Stonebreaker. Impressive stuff coming at you from Cincinnati, Ohio. And now coming up, Chuck Cooley with more.
Welcome to the 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final. This is the gold medal match for Recurve Women. Your number 1 qualifier, Casey Kaufhold. Against your number 2 qualifier, Erin Mickelberry. Casey Kaufhold has elected to shoot first. She will be on the left-hand stage.
That's right. That's right. All right. So who's shooting first? You?
So here we go, Braden. Galantine joining Greg White as we get ready for this gold medal match for the women's recurve. Casey Kaufhold on the left part of your screen, Erin Mickelberry on the right. And like Chuck Cooley said, the number 1 and number 2 seeded qualifiers coming in. That was for over 13 different tournaments since December, over 4,600 athletes competing total. This is a very big class. So as we get ready for this one, you had a chance to shoot on the stages where the women are standing right now.
Correct.
It's a very unique place with the lighting we have in here, the distance. How did you find the entire situation from the platform to the light, how the target looked downranged?
So a lot of times when you get into the finals, the target appears differently. Here in the enclosed situation, it actually seems a little shorter. Like it's just a mental thing where the archer is standing there the target seems in your face, which is definitely a good thing. We're going to probably see some really high scores today because of that. It was a little bit dark, so I'd be interested to see how they pick up their string, because they use that as a reference point and kind of line it up against their riser and go from there. So we might see a little bit of impact difference, but
Koffel
not for Casey.
Yeah, not with Casey. 9-10 liner for Casey. What happened there?
Not sure I see that arrow.
10.
I think Mickelberry.
9.
Getting our binos out to take a look. Yeah, Mickelberry had a miss out the top. She actually shot the banner on top of the target.
Oh no, I see it.
You see it now? Yeah, so there's like a little cardboard thing. So she shook that one off, and she was able to shoot a 9. And now a 10 for Mickelberry.
Luckily, that's a good thing about set play. That arrow's gone. 2 points to Casey.
Mm-hmm.
We get to move on from here.
You can see the score in the upper left-hand part of your screen where there's nothing listed. The score is going to officially, USA Archery, it's going to be a miss. So on the scorecard, you would see, and there's the arrow. Very strange to see something like that. Must have just been nerves, because I didn't see her grab a handful of clicks or anything.
High rate, I'd imagine that it was nerves, like you said, and the arrow may have popped up on top of her plunger.
Oh.
That would give the high rating impact. If you're a little bit nervous and your fingers pinch a little bit, the arrow can easily pop up.
Here's another look
Yeah,
at the
there you
shot.
go. You see it up on top of the plunger versus on the side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's no real reaction from her on that one. Do you think it's something maybe she's done before?
I'm sure it's a common mistake. I don't think it's something she does often. It's just something she's happened in practice, and instantly it was like, really? Are you serious? That just happened.
Yeah, right. Now, later on down the road, if this had been compound, it would be a much different story, because you do cumulative scoring. But for this set scoring system, no real damage done other than just the 2-0 score.
Right,
So
Casey shot a 29, so odds are she would have won the set either way.
Yeah. All right, so Erin Mickelberry settling down. Out of Bothell, Washington. 21 years she has been shooting. And she is shooting a PSE Achieve. That's her bow. For Casey Koffel, she forgot. She told me right before this match that Casey had forgotten that she had to shoot indoor again. So she only set up this indoor bow last Wednesday, shooting Carbon Express SST arrows, which are a little bit larger in diameter than the nanos that she shoots. Also, what she had done, Casey Koffel, is she'd gone down from 42 pounds for her outdoor bow to 40 indoor, because she started to get some calluses on her fingers. So you can see the change that she made.
Seems to be working.
Seems
Perfect
to be
30.
working.
Erin bounced back strong there with a 29 coming back from that miss, and Casey just seems a little bit stronger, a little bit more on point.
Koffel was far and away the #1 qualifier, though, coming into this day of competition for the top 8. So Mickelberry with a 10-10-9, 29 for that one. So that means Koffel's going to go up 4-0. It's time for Mickelberry, who's just, that 9 was a close 9. So when we did the set scoring, just to give us an idea, just to put it on paper, as they say, give us how it all works in terms of, obviously, if you win, you get 2.
Right, if you win, you get 2. If you tie the set, both shooters shoot the same score, each archer gets 1 point. And because of that, you can end up with a 5-5 shoot-off tie, single arrow closest to center.
So we also want to say happy birthday to Casey Koffel, who just turned 15 last week.
9.
A 9 for Mickelberry. Koffel is the female cadet indoor world record holder.
Right, she set that at GC Open in Luxembourg earlier this year. It was impressive. It was kind of her, announcement to the world that she was here and ready to go.
Indoor World Series silver medalist in Nîmes, France as well. 9-9, a chance for Mickelberry. She can shoot a 10.
That arrow's probably just out. Those small diameter recurve arrows, they don't hang a lot of lines.
No, they don't.
So a 10 here wins the match for Casey.
It's going to be bottom right-hand part of your screen.
There
And
it
a
is.
10, nearly dead smack in the middle for Casey Koffold. A gold medal for the 15-year-old. I got used to saying that.
Right?
Already getting a little, as a seasoned veteran at this level at 15 years old.
It's impressive.
One of the brightest stars we have in the United States for a women's recurve, Casey Koffold. Double check for score, triple check for score. We can kind of see it from here. And we'll also, after they confirm this score, you will see the judge make a move in one direction. As we look at the highlights, we can see that we are confirmed that Casey Koffold is your gold medalist, your national champion. Silver to Aaron Mickelberry as the crowd goes crazy. The now homeschooled Casey Koffold, who's enjoying it, asked her. I'm like, you go back to school? He's like, I don't know. But let's go to
necessary when you have a dream of going to the Olympics.
Heck no. All right, let's go to PJ, who has our 15-year-old winner.
All right, Casey, 2019 Indoor National Champion. This just slipped away from you last year. How's it feel this year?
It feels really good to redeem myself because, like, I know I worked really hard last year and I knew I could do it this year, and it was such a good match between me and Mackenzie, and I just came in here thinking the same mindset, like knowing I can do it, and today was just a great day, great shots, and great people. So
Now, I believe you had set up for outdoor, so this is like a last-minute finish to get you into indoor.
Yeah, so I was shooting my outdoor bow for about 2 weeks before this, and I was thinking, okay, it's outdoor season, and then I kind of forgot that I had this shoot. So I was like, okay, we're going to put an indoor bow back together real quick, and so it worked out pretty well.
All right, congratulations, Casey.
Yeah, thank you.
Huge smile on Casey's face. His redemption from last year. Our gold medals from last year, Mackenzie Brown finished 4th in this one. Brianna Lux with the bronze medal. So 2 of 5 already in the books here in Cincinnati. If you're bouncing in and out of our YouTube feed, it's the USA Archery 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships, the final event from the weekend that we have. I'm Greg White, sitting with Braden Gellantine as we prepare for our next match, which is going to be the Recurve Men. That'll be coming up in just a moment. And you can see a very familiar face getting ready to shoot.
And then I'll
Let's
signal
listen in
POS and we'll get
to what
started.
the referees have to say.
Best to you both.
We need somebody to pull arrows, or are they doing?
So do you have an archer's agent?
No, I could get one.
Yes, we would need you to have an archer's agent, somebody to
Yeah, I
pull
think,
and do scoring for you.
Okay, yeah, my dad's.
Okay. All right. And your agent is back there already? Okay. So we'll hold until your agent gets ready, okay? So is he heading back there now, or is he coming here? Okay. Hey, Chuck, hang on a second. We got...
Well, Braden, so what you have here is a seasoned veteran shooter, and you have someone who hasn't really been in this position before and don't really understand how it works, and that's the situation that we're presented with at the moment.
Right, so we're waiting for an agent to act on behalf of Glenn to go down and, score his arrows, pull his arrows, and just oversee everything.
With all that Glenn had to worry about being in this situation,
it's easy to forget the most simplest of things.
It's easy to forget. All right, let's get it to Chuck, who's going to introduce our archers.
And welcome to the gold medal match for Recurve Men. This is the 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championship final. Please, a round of applause for your number 1 qualifier, Grady Ellison. Versus Glenn Thomas. Grady has elected to shoot first from the left-hand stage. That's it. That's all I do.
So Brady Ellison, 25 years shooting out of Globe, Arizona. If you're new to archery, you probably still know his name. If you've ever watched any Olympic competition, he's got 3 Olympic medals in his career, 2 team silvers and 1 individual bronze, 8 World Cup finals. I mean, the resume is incredible.
I can't see you, Doug.
Right, he's done it all and won it all.
And he shoots a compound for fun.
Yes.
On top of it all. So for the gold medal.
What an opening for Brady. Solid 10.
Now here is Glenn Thomas out of Mercer, Pennsylvania. He's been shooting competitively about 18 years. He's won some JOAD stuff in his day. JOAD, he's been involved in JOAD Outdoor World Championships in 2006, Turkey in 2008. He's a very accomplished collegiate shooter when he was in college as well. He won 2 outdoor national collegiate titles. The difference, one of the big differences between these 2 shooters, not just the experience, but this archer right here, full-time archer. For his competitor, he's an engineer at a place that makes plastics.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he gets to shoot league a couple times a week, and he gets to shoot on the weekend. And Glenn, who you're looking at right now, once a week he even shoots a compound bow.
I'd known he shot a compound. I'd seen him at Lancaster a few times. And getting ready for this, it's pushing Grady to it. 1-1.
That's the way you do it. So, set system scoring. Total score per each end is going to decide who gets these points. First person to 6 is going to win. If we go 5-5, we'll have
do you need them?
shoot
One arrow
off.
closest to center.
One arrow closest to center, shoot
they
off.
usually come back every other.
Chris Schaff, who is our #1 qualifier in the compounds men division, who got knocked out in the first round of competition in a shoot-off. Both
he got knocked out 150 to 149. He dropped his last arrow.
That's right. Dropped his last arrow. Yeah, that's right. Just they were shooting lights out. But he is the minder for Brady Ellison. Interesting bit from an equipment standpoint. So Brady's shooting that Hoyt Formula X bow. Those limbs, you know, obviously Hoyt recurve builders for many years, high-tech development, all that stuff. The bow that Glenn is shooting is from a company called CD Archery. They've only been making bear bows for about 5 years and created this bow. He was the first one to shoot the bow. Obviously that's Brady with a 10. But Glenn, you'll see this bow in a second. It's a special. You can see the weights, like look out at the top of the riser there. They've weighted that so the bow is very even when it shoots.
Okay, and being an engineer, I'm sure he's thought through all of that.
I'm sure he has,
probably
yeah.
had a hand in the input and manufacturing of it.
So he's only been shooting that bow since January last year. You have to say, though,
10 for Brady.
You have to say, I love that Brady chose the colors he chose on his bow. It's like that purple, reflective, crazy stuff.
Right, from one side of the bow it looks purple. Right now it looks green. It's a cool color.
Ooh, just out the top. And Glenn really needed that one.
Brady seizes control here with the 9. There it is, perfect 10.
Beautiful. 10-10-10, 30 for Brady Ellison. And that'll move him to 3-1.
Correct. Now because of the tie, we will see a minimum of 4 ends.
Been talking with Glenn right after he got done with his the match that got him here to the gold medal. I said, "How you feeling?" He goes, "I'm nervous. I mean, this is a big stage to
right,
be
at least
on."
he's honest.
Yeah. But I think right now he's handling those nerves very well. I mean, so far, total points value, he's only dropped 2 points to Brady Ellison.
Right, his shot looks really good. He looks like he's getting into a rhythm, and that last arrow, he looked really strong. I think he's overcoming a lot of the nerves, and we should be in for a good end this time. Maybe 30-30, if I have my predictions.
Oh.
I see it coming.
I see it coming.
You'll be shooting second.
This is the USA Archery 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships final. It's the gold medal match for men's recurve division. Brady Ellison on the left platform. On the right, shooting first is going to be Glenn Thomas, who's down by 2. And that's the pressure he needs to put on Ellison.
Door's open. If Glenn runs out 10-10 here, he can bring it back to 3-3.
Caught
That should have the 9 ring.
Kind of knew that was coming, didn't you? It's the hardest thing when Brady opens the door. You've got to capitalize on it.
Absolutely, it's a tough situation to shoot 10 when you know you need it. Shot looked clean. Ball's in Brady's card here. Ten from Brady, that pushes the match to 4-2.
4-2. 29-29. I'm sure Glenn's going to be thinking about that second arrow.
Right, the one that got away.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of times when you see a high right impact with a recurve, it's a more tentative shot. It's a little bit more fingers versus back tension, and they come out and kind of flail away from the string versus a nice clean shot.
That's the one thing about recurve. There's so many opportunities to make mistakes in the form because there's so many varying factors in there. Even if you get to your anchor point and everything feels good, you've still got to get those fingers off clean without plucking the string, without doing anything crazy.
Okay, so you'll be
the fact that
you're
shooting at a target.
Yeah, a bob.
Oh, they're going to change. Sorry, I think they're
the
just going
clapboards. It should be
change
4-2.
the score. It's going to be 4-2
Right.
Brady. Part of the rules here for USA Archery.
Thank you.
Which, of course, rules are in line with World Archery
Yes.
competition. So if
So
you ever
you'll be
see other
shooting
videos of World
good,
Archery
Stanley?
competition, you're going to see very
Okay.
similar
So you'll be shooting first. You'll be shooting
way of
second.
scoring,
Thank
rules
Are
in
you
place
ready?
in terms of
Range
arrow
is clear.
diameter, target size. And these recurve targets are what we call just the 10 ring usually on a Vegas face, if anyone shot that before. So they get that outer 10. First shot delivered by Glenn Thomas.
Looks very clean. Perfect shot.
Good one from Ellison.
Oh, really? You can shoot a 10? I can shoot dead center.
Obviously, those Easton X23s. Oh, as soon as he released it, he knew.
You could see it on his face. And that's why he's Brady Ellison.
And that's why. That should be a bumper sticker.
Now Glenn needs a 10 here to put the pressure back on Brady.
He does
There
it.
it is. Now, Grady needs a 10 to win the match. A 9, we go to a set, and an additional set at 5-3. He got it.
Looks like he got it. But everybody's holding their breath to find out for sure.
It's close.
As the judge goes down, takes a close look at it. Can we see it touching that line? I mean, Braden's got the younger, better eyes than I do. It looks like it's touching, though.
It's got to be there.
It's got to be. After this final score comes in, the judge will indicate to us, indeed, Brady Ellison has won the match and the gold medal, and is your 2019 U.S. National Indoor Champion.
Thank you. I think they would like
A
you
good,
to
good
step
fight
over there.
from Glenn Thomas was put up, and he'll walk away with silver. So the purse for Brady Ellison from USA Archery, $8,000 for the gold medal,
Okay.
and adding another title to his resume. Let's go to PJ.
All right, Brady, 2019 Indoor National Champion. How'd it feel up there?
It felt good. It's the first big win like that I've had in a long time, and the first win in a finals match. So felt good. We got my finger issues completely figured out now, and the last month I've been shooting 1,800, 2,000 arrows a week.
Wow.
And I'm back in the gym lifting 4 days a week and just trying to make a run. This year's a build year. ton of arrows, going to hit the weights, you know, try to get back in fighting shape, so to say, going into the game. So it feels good, you know. It's a lot of money on the line, so, you know, the first couple ends it wasn't there, and then getting into those last couple ends, you know, where you looking like you could win it, you know, definitely the nerves come up, and it's good that the form changes and stuff I've made that I'm able to handle that, you know, because Lancaster was kind of disastrous, so fix that problem.
Skinny arrows. You made the switch from your 23s.
Yeah, so the main reason for the switch is we've been shooting outside pretty much since Vegas, been shooting outside for everything, and our World Team Trials is coming up here in a couple of weeks in Arizona. And so switched to them, and then when I went inside, I shot a 599 with them the first day, so there was no need to switch and shoot the same bow, same setup that I had been, and hope it was enough.
All right, congratulations, Brady, 2019 Indoor National Champ.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys.
Definitely tell that he is happy about that one, Braden. The final shot that did it for him.
Solid.
Drifted a little wide, but all it needed to do was touch the line. And Brady Ellison adds another national championship, well over 20 national titles to his resume. And I think he enjoyed that match.
Like he said, it's been a while since he's been back on the podium as a winner. He's had a little bit of rough luck in matches in the last year, and it's good to see him, you know, take control and seize it when he has a situation where he can.
All right, it's time for our next match. Here's Chuck.
Do you want on the left side or right side?
For the compound women's
Okay,
division
then you're first.
at the
And you'll
2019
be shooting,
U.S.
and then
National
you'll be
Indoor
shooting
Championships
first,
final.
okay? All right, here we
Up
go.
first,
Stand
your
by.
number one
Here
qualifier,
we go.
Paige Pierce. And your number 3 qualifier, Alexis Ruiz. Alexis will shoot second. Paige will shoot first from the left-hand stage.
All right, archers prepare.
Alexis Ruiz on our screen now to Paige Pierce out of Red Bluff, California. And Paige, I don't know, Braden, she's just been really on a tear as of late, hasn't she?
Yeah, when Paige gets hot, she's arguably one of the best shooters in the world. Obviously, she was the number one qualifier coming into it. She shot great all the way through her matches, so we should be in for a treat here.
Different looking target face than we've seen in our recurves. Tell us about that.
So this is the inner 10 scoring for compound. It's the only 10 ring there is. The rest of the yellow's 9, and then the remaining scores 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, sorry, 8, 7, 6. Perfect 10 there from Alexis.
If it was the end of the match, a one-arrow shoot-off, that would be the winner for sure.
Right, that's the one you want.
Alexis Ruiz out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Looks like Paige has seen a little bit more movement in her sight picture right there. I'm not sure if that's nerves or...
Good shot, shooting the Victory 37 with those 23 diameter Eastons for Ruiz. Back on track. And again, different scoring than we've seen in recurve. Kind of see that one coming, didn't you?
Yeah, that shot looked a little from the get-go.
So Ruiz had an opportunity there to go up a point on Paige. Actually, I think it should really be 9 for Paige, isn't it? 9-9?
That
Did she
first
get that
one's
top
really
one?
close. It looks like it might just have the line.
Yeah.
The judge didn't look at it too hard, so it must be, you know, pretty easily seen from the other angle.
So confirmations of scores going in. Cumulative scoring in compound archery, which means that we're going to shoot 5 ends total.
Right, regardless of whether one match is lopsided or not, we shoot the 5 ends, and then the archer with the higher score at the end is the champion.
And if we have a tie on score by the time that 15th arrow flies, what happens then?
Correct. Single arrow, center target, closest center wins. And if the arrows, if the judge can't decide which arrow's closest, he'll determine it a tie, and
You'll
we'll shoot
be
a second.
shooting first again.
That has happened before.
You've had a chance to stand on these stages with your compound bow. More complicated than we've seen with Barebow, more complicated with recurve in terms of what you're looking through. You have a peep sight and a scope. How did it look in terms of lighting situation, and how clear was the target downrange?
The target was clear,
The range is
but it was
clear.
a little dark. it was hard to pick up my side picture. We might be what Paige is seeing there because her shot's going a little bit longer than normal.
Paige starts us off. Good shot. Is there any particular order in these rules where you have to shoot targets in?
No, there's no order. You can shoot them however you'd like. Most archers commonly shoot top to bottom, but in recent years we've seen a trend where shooters are starting to shoot bottom to the top just to get rid of any shadows or anything on the bail, but here shadows don't seem to be an issue.
Ruiz pounding that first target. Another inside out 10 for her. Looks like Paige caught that 10 line. Dropping that one low. Very soft shot, didn't it? Coming off of Paige's there.
I think it was a little bit of a dip bang there, and when I say dip bang, it means that right before the shot fires, the sight just drops out the bottom.
One of the things I noticed, both archers are wearing their binoculars.
Correct.
But when you get to these gold medal matches, you actually have people downrange that are pulling arrows for you. You have official scorers that are doing things for you. You even have a monitor right in front of the shooter that's zeroed in. Why wear your binos?
I honestly think it's a balance thing. It's just a comfort thing. And most archers shoot their entire practice seasons with those binoculars on, and when obviously don't have people telling them where the arrow's landing or a monitor right in front.
Yeah, most of the time we shoot alone.
Exactly. So it's just a comfort thing. It's a balance thing. Anytime you make a change, like a pair of binoculars weighs 2 pounds when you add the strap and everything together.
You'll be shooting first again, Paige.
Definitely changes your balance points. You might have to even adjust your stabilizer or something. It's just a comfort thing.
Gotcha. So you saw there at the end of that replay of Paige's last shot that after that shot went off, she did grab a couple clicks of her sight, so she's moving that probably down to move it up a little bit. So
correct. Everything seems to be bottom half of the target.
Alexis will be shooting second.
So she actually has Tate Morgan in the coach's box for her. He might have given her a little bit of advice. There's Tate, bottom left-hand part of your screen.
There she goes. That's a little bit more solid, but still bottom. Adding a few more clicks as well. Alexis is obviously dialed in on her sight. That's 3 arrows, exact same hole, dead center.
Wow. Different releases as well that these two archers are shooting.
Correct. Paige has a wrist strap release with a finger-activated caliper. What she does is she locks her index finger on the release and then pulls with her back until it fires. Alexis shoots a traditional back tension, which is rotation fired.
She didn't like that one.
Yeah.
You talk about it often, actually, about when the shot goes off, you kind of can feel it if it's hitting behind the pin like it is for her. That's probably what you saw there.
It looked like she may have pulled a little bit harder than she was pushing on that one. Sight picture went a little bit right, and that's when it fired.
Close one.
That's just out high right.
Yeah, I think it might be a 9.
A lot of times when a back tensions are really close to firing, I think like we saw with Alexis' second shot, any little movement in your body is what sets off that release. So when you see, a shot go off when the pin's not in the middle, it's that movement away from the middle, the whole overall movement of your body that fires the release.
Confirmation of scores. Currently we have on our board 88 to 87. Paige would be ahead by 1.
Right, that bottom target, it's really close.
We'll see if that changes.
Alexis, you'll be shooting first.
As we see
looks like she got it.
Yeah, looks like she got it. So, all right, so you have these two shooters. Notice that they're holding their bows. Is it weird? Because normally after an end, you put your bow down, you walk down, you've been in this situation before.
Right.
Oh, so official score is up. So 88-87, Paige leads by 1. But when you're sitting up on the boxes and there's a crowd funneling in behind, is it weird to be able to stay in your rhythm, stay in your game?
You definitely feel like you're on display when you're up there. During traditional matches, when you're able to walk off the line and put your bow down, it seems like you're able to kind of retreat. Up here, you're you're vulnerable the whole time, and it definitely doesn't allow the nerves to dissipate quite as quickly.
First time we've seen her out of that hole. 2017 Outdoor Junior World Champion Alexis Ruiz. She kicks it off with a 9.
That was much more like the Paige I know.
Mm-hmm.
She had a really quick rhythm, got on the target and fired.
2018 Vegas champion Ruiz with another shot she's not happy with. Just out left. Don't be fooled by that tear in the paper. Pierce with an opportunity to pull even further ahead.
This is one of those hard 10 situations like we saw with the recurve. And Paige got it. Definitely seized control of the match there. Nice shot.
Good recovery after 2 9s for Alexis Ruiz. This could hold it at 3 points advantage.
The 10 here effectively clinches the match.
Okay. So she had an opportunity to really put her hands around the throat of Ruiz, but it didn't happen. But still 2 points is a big advantage with the way both these shooters have been shooting.
2 points is huge in any compound match, especially in a gold final.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, we all have. Earlier today.
Right.
In women's recurve.
And Barebow, that 10 by stonebreaker to clinch the match was
unbelievable. Yeah, it's unreal.
Paige
117. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, Paige seems totally relaxed up there. She seems like she's having fun.
When does she not, though?
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like, she can be serious when she needs to be.
But then, like you see, she just turns it on when she needs it. And she's totally focused now.
She's streaky, though. When she is on, she's absolutely dangerous when she's behind that bow. And if you ever get in a conversation with Paige Pierce about how she aims
Alexis
at
will be
distance,
shooting first.
it will explode
Paige
your mind.
will be shooting second.
If you ever need
range
advice
is
on how to
clear.
shoot a bow in archery properly, don't talk to Paige.
She has her own style, and it works for her.
It works for her. Her brain makes it work. Alexis Ruiz, down 2. Got it. The face didn't show it.
It was a solid 10. I think she's a little angered at herself from the previous rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Good shot from Paige all day long.
When you can see
that's
that.
What we're used to.
Yeah. Might have caught that one. 10-9 liner. That'll be a judge call, especially with the holes in the target. It's called a 10. It's hard for me to see on that one.
It's hard to tell. It's from our angle. Who knows?
The thing I love about Alexis Ruiz's shot is just nothing is forced. It just flows.
It looks effortless. Yep.
Beautiful.
Paige wins the match.
Yeah. 30 points for Paige. And that's going to seal it out of a possible 150. It looks like Paige Pierce with a 147. And she is going to take gold at the USA Archery 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships final here at the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. A closer look, though.
That's Alexis's middle arrow.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's called a 10, it'll still be 147 to 145. Official scores now being called in, and we'll see if for the record books there's any change in the score, but there won't be a change in the gold medalist. Score is official, 147 to 144.
Your gold medal winner is Paige
So Paige Pierce will take it.
Alexis
As a big wave to the crowd. As Paige will head over to talk to PJ Riley, let's get to our latest, newest gold medalist.
2019 Indoor National Champ, how you feeling?
Stressed, but I'm glad it's done. I was actually really nervous, which is, I'm not used to that, so that was a struggle.
That's odd because you looked as comfortable as I've ever seen you up there.
I'm glad you think so. I really enjoy those finals matches, and I love the alternating shooting, and I like being up there. It was just because I won it last year, I feel like I had a little bit of added pressure to come back and do it again, and that did make it a little more difficult.
All right, you got it done. Congratulations, Paige.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A great way for her to start out the weekend, as we still have another 2 days of competition away from this USA Archery U.S. National Indoor Championships, as Paige will set sail with an $8,000 paycheck and another title to her name as we get ready for a clash of the Titans. That'll be coming up here in just a moment.
Yeah, both. Who's your agent?
Up next, your gold medal match for the 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final. Shooting off for $8,000 and a gold or silver medal. Our number 4 qualifier, who will advance to target 1, will be Jesse Broadwater. And our number 3 qualifier, advancing to bale 2, will be Rio Wild, shooting from the right side. Rio has elected to shoot first.
Well, Braden Galantine, Greg White, our final match of the day for the USA Archery 2019 National Indoor Championships final from the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Braden, I said clash of the Titans because obviously the amount of wins between Jesse Broadwater and Rio Wild absolutely staggering over the years. If you came into this event with the 8 archers that we had, would you expect this final for the gold medal?
Anytime you have the 8 guys into the into a match, into the set of matches like we had earlier today, you can't predict who's going to get there. But no, I'm not surprised at all to see these 2 as the final 2 in the gold final. You name a tournament between these guys, they've got a championship.
Cumulative scoring, 18 meters down range is the target for the Interax. Rio with a big bobble there.
He didn't look comfortable when he got back and shot one off a little fast. Jesse, on the other hand, looked super solid and nothing was moving.
Unusual for Rio Wild, he's actually shooting his own GOAT release, which is a dual release as a back tension and a thumb release, and he chose to shoot it as a thumb release.
He used to shoot a thumb back in the day, back in his Carter days, for forever, as long as I knew him. It was set super hard, and he pulled and pulled and pulled. It wasn't until recently, maybe the last 5-7 years, that he switched over to a back tension.
Jesse with a 2-finger release.
Yes. He said it's been able to allow him to relax his hand a little bit more and just get a little bit more into the rotation and pull.
Good look at what Rio's shooting now. Switching to the TRX 7, a bow that he just set up. He's very comfortable with. That bow weighing 10.5 pounds total with all the weights he has stacked on.
Oh, I believe it. I remember I shot his bow a couple of years ago, and it takes a man to get it up on the center.
Yeah, I tried picking it up today, and I was like, can't do it. 10 for Broadwater. Cumulative scoring, like I mentioned before, so we should have Jesse Broadwater with a single point advantage over Rio Wild. Rio, of course, out of Pocatello, Idaho, coming from a very famed Wild family of shooters. His father, D, a legend in his own right in this sport. His brother, Logan, also a very competent shooter. 26 years in shooting. This guy, Jesse Broadwater, though, now in Ellison, Florida with his family. Originally out of Cumberland, Maryland, 30 years shooting. He's shooting a TRX 8 this time with the Easton 23 15s. I mean, when you look at Broadwater's highlights, I mean, what can you say, right? 2-time Vegas champ, 2-time World Field champ, 3-time World Cup Finals champ. He did those 3 in a row. Had a chance. I thought he had a chance this year, but he didn't make the finals because he missed one of the events.
Right.
For Rio, 14 World Championship gold medals. The guy sitting next to me, Braden Galantine, I think you were the first person to really break the total medals, right? Like total medals all for World Archery.
Yes, I've got it somewhere in the mid-60s.
Many crickets. Mid-60s. I don't even have that many bills piled up at home. For Rio Wild, right part of your screen.
Rio, you'll be
3
shooting
Vegas
first.
titles. 3-time world indoor champ, 4 Lancaster championships. When I asked him, like, give me some USA Archery
Rio,
indoor
you'll be
career
shooting
highlights,
first.
he said he can't remember them all.
Jesse, you'll be shooting second.
Sounds like Rio.
The range is clear.
So Rio trying to make up for 2. You have to say 2 misses, really. I mean, you know, when you're looking at this level.
Right, it's either a 10 or a miss.
Yeah.
Arrow looks just off low right. Jesse can please control the match here with the 10.
Now Jesse kind of, you know, opens, closes the eye, opens, closes the eye.
It's just a comfort thing, trying to, you know, see what he can see and make sure he's centered up in his sight.
Well, for Rio Wild right now, this is the first real test, I think. I mean, he had some tests in the elimination matches coming here, but really the first real test for gold medal under pressure with that new bow as well. So I would imagine after this, Rio's going to have something to say about how he wants to maybe make some setup changes to that bow to make it more pressure friendly, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good way to, you know, get into the weekend here and shoot these arrows before you shoot the NFA Nationals. So yeah, like you said, he'll learn a little bit about the bow and about himself with the bow and make some adjustments, and expect him to have a pretty solid weekend these next 2 days.
Broadwater, another one. 30 for Broadwater. All right, so 59-56 looks like the lead at the moment. All right, Braden Galantine, if you were in this match, you'd have to shoot your 23 diameter arrows because of the USA Archery, but we still have 2 days of competition remaining here for the NFA indoor. Would you change your arrows, or would you just say this is the setup I'm rolling with and continue to shoot your 23s all through the weekend?
Absolutely. I would have brought 2 bows with me, one set up for the 23s, one set up for the 27s, and the 23 bow would be an advantage going into the shoot-off on Sunday afternoon if we were to make it through.
All right, because it becomes,
instead of trying to, you know, hit the X, you're trying to have an inside-out X. So a smaller diameter arrow is an advantage. Okay. That said, a lot of guys switch over to X10s or, you know, smaller diameter shafts to get the maximum advantage.
I like the forward thinking, you know, just like it's a given you're going to shoot 120 X's.
It's not a given, but you have to plan for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, so with 60 points possible being scored so far, it's 59 for Jesse Broadwater, 56 for Rio Wild. If Rio has any chance, he's just got to clean it out.
Right, and hope that Jesse gets nervous and shoots a few more 9s.
Which is
You'll be shooting
highly unlikely.
You'll be shooting second.
It's possible.
The range is clear.
So
like
Rio,
you said, Rio definitely needs to clean out.
26 years shooting pro. Rio Wild. "26 years for Rio," and I asked him, you know, to list his sponsors, and he said Sherry Wild is his #1 sponsor. That's a smart move.
Yeah, she's a saint. She lets him travel the world, you know, 25 weeks a year and stays at home with the family. He's got himself a good woman.
Broadwater drills himself another 10. Yeah, for Rio, it just doesn't look like it's breaking as clean in this situation. For Broadwater, calm, cool, collected, under control, taking his time.
Yeah, Jesse has a way of making it look effortless.
More of a command shooter, he's told me in the past. Jesse likes to just kind of command where it's going to go, takes his time and waits for that shot to develop. Interesting the way he holds that bow too, with his grip. Over the top of that lip on the right.
Right, his hand's barely in the grip itself. It's mostly above the shelf.
Another 30 for Broadwater.
Another couple points.
As we head towards a possible 149 for Jesse Broadwater, too early to call, obviously. And does it seem different if you know you're going into this next end and you have a 5-point advantage, Braden? Is it difficult to keep your focus in situations like that? Sometimes.
I think it might be difficult to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse ends up with a 148, 147. It does become a little bit more difficult to keep your foot down and stay as aggressive as you'd like. You do tend to switch over to a more protective shot versus an aggressive one.
Broadwater over his career, a very impressive shooter all the way across the board. He can deliver and has delivered at 50 meters. He's delivered indoor. He also, I think, really where his heart lies is that field kind of shooting, real difficult, type of shooting. The pro archery tour that was going on for a few years. Extreme angles of shooting.
Yeah, he's always been one of the best field shooters we've had in the U.S. and all the guys that shot the international stuff are like, well, why don't you come over here? Are you scared? Like, we shoot really steep angles. Just it's like, come on, I grew up doing that stuff, back home. So everyone was expecting him to have some steep learning curve when he went over, and he didn't skip a beat.
One of the things I found with archery, Braden, that you excel at too is technical prowess. Is you're often on your own to figure your bow out. And obviously you and the two guys we're looking at on stage have it. How important do you think it is for you to really understand how your equipment works and be able to make adjustments? Not to be as expert as you are and these two are, but really to know and understand your equipment.
I really think to be one of the greats, you have to have a really good understanding of the cause and effect to everything that you do and what kind of benefits you'll see from it. So these guys spend countless hours tweaking, getting the exact feel that they need from the bow so that they can perform at their best.
Broadwater with the little gum in there. Nice chew. So the last shot by Rio, he had drilled it, and looks like he's going to clip a 10 on that. Good inside out, though, is Wild. Getting on track a little late in this match.
10.
All right, so we know for Rio it's another 10. The middle arrow is called a 9, but we're going to have the judge take a look at it and see if that's turned over because it's a 10-9 liner. Ooh.
10-9
Looks like he caught that one. 10-9 liner. It's hard for us to see.
Definitely tough to tell.
And there's always the
trusty binoculars.
Yeah. When he wants to take a look on his own just to see that. That's one of the things I found in archery. Obviously, your equipment's really important, but your binoculars are really critical. All right, so they call that one a 10. So 30-30 for both archers. The lead remains at 5.
Perfect 30s for both archers.
We head into our final end of competition for the gold medal at this U.S. National Indoor Championships. Here's a little replay of Jesse Broadwater, still at the top of his game.
Rio, you'll be shooting first, sir. Jesse, you'll be shooting second, sir. The range is clear.
Grab those mavens and had a look. All right, so Rio shoots first. Down 5 points. I think it's pretty elemental at this point with a good shot from Rio. Now it's about really getting some good shots in for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, it's just minimizing mistakes, making sure that nothing happens like we saw with the first women's recurve match. Just no technical errors, just get through the match and on to the next one.
Solid touch in the middle. Doing it in fine style. Nothing Rio can shoot here, barring a disaster from Broadwater. Missing the target altogether is going to do it. But he still nails it, drills it, gets on good form with a couple of 30s to exit this match. Any scoring ring right now is going to do it for Jesse Broadwater.
Why not another 10?
Why not? Another 30 for Jesse Broadwater, and just dropping one single point, and the look on his face is, oh man, I can't believe I didn't shoot a 150.
Definitely a look of relief. Glad it's over.
Confirmations of scores coming in. But hearty congratulations to Jesse Broadwater, who will add 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championship gold medalist to his resume and kick off his archery weekend in fine style on this Friday. Curious to see how Jesse reacts after this match, as he's going to head off to PJ to go have a conversation with him. So congratulations to Jesse Broadwater. A solid 149 does it for him, and he's with PJ.
All right, Jesse, 2019 Indoor National Champion. How's it feel?
Feels good. Yeah, feels good. I like how they're doing this format now. It makes the the nationals mean a lot more, and it's getting more people involved in it. So, yeah, I really like this format. So.
1X you dropped in that last match. That's got to be. You looked comfortable up there. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I've been feeling good. Been shooting good at home, and everything's been right on track. So I shot good matches today. Only dropped one arrow today in my matches, so I'm feeling pretty good. So.
What's next for you on the schedule?
Well, we got the NFA Nationals here, and then next week is another ASA shoot. So this will be the last indoor shoot, I think, for a while, though. So switching gears to outside, and I'm looking forward to that.
All right, congratulations, Jesse.
All right, thank you.
All over the place for Jesse Broadwater. ASA, indoor, outdoor, doing a bunch of stuff. He loves it, and I'm sure that we'll see him too doing more. I don't know, is this an on year or an off year for the USA Archery field? It's an on year, isn't it?
I honestly have no idea. That's the only avenue of archery that I don't partake in. So
I believe it's a qualification year, an odd year. Yeah, I can't remember. I remember being able to shoot with him, but just back in 2015, a talented archer all the way across the board, one of the most complete archers that we have seen.
Totally.
So we've seen some great matches here today at this 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Finals, the second year, and we expect it to go longer. What do you think about the format and how they're doing it now versus how they used to do it?
Yeah, so in years past, it was just the straight score shoot like we have, the qualification, and that was the end of the tournament. This is way better because you never really got to see your competitors before when it was spread out over 13 locations across the country. So now getting everyone here and shooting the finals, it's definitely more of a true competition.
So looking ahead to next year for what we've done for indoor, if they have these 13 different venues, would you rather shoot early and get your score in and then just watch other people trying to, get your high score?
Right.
Or would you rather shoot one of those late rounds like you did and be able to know what score you need to hit to qualify?
I really, for me, I think I'd rather shoot an earlier event. That way I can kind of set the pace. It's a lot easier for me to, go in and try to be the lead horse from the beginning versus trying to, leapfrog everybody. It's just trying to keep the nervous energy down as much as you can.
Congratulations to all of our medalists here at the 2019 U.S. National Indoor Championships Final from the Duke Energy Convention Center. For Braden Galantine, I'm Greg White. Thanks for joining our cam coverage here on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Take care and shoot straight.